Hello, my most amazing kindergarten artists. We're gonna start a project today that has our primary colors in it. Our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. And these are the basic colors that we're going to start with. So we are also going to be using shapes today. Colors and shapes are what we're gonna do, and we're gonna create a beautiful piece of art. In the middle of your paper, you're gonna take this black oil pastel, and you are going to make, you can do whatever shape you want, but it has to stay the same shape. So on this one, I'm going to do a black rectangle in the middle of my paper. And then I am going to take my black oil pastel and then do another black rectangle around it. And another one. And another one until my paper is almost filled with rectangles. So they keep getting bigger every time. You don't want the rectangles to bump into each other. You want them to be their own rectangle that goes around the one you did before. And it looks like this will be about my last one, because I have filled my paper with rectangles. And then we're done with these. We're gonna put them down. Your hands may be a little bit dirty, but that's okay. We'll clean them up all at the end. Then what we're gonna do is we are going to paint inside our rectangles. We're gonna start on the inside rectangle, and we are gonna use these three colors of paint. You will have brushes in the paint at your table. This brush has to stay only for blue paint. This one has to stay only for yellow paint, and this one only for red paint. You can tell the color of the paint by the color of the cup. We are not taking the yellow brush and putting it in the red paint, or the blue brush and putting it in the yellow paint. They stay in their own color paint, or else we're gonna have a whole bunch of color mixing and it's gonna ruin the paint. So we're gonna use our primary colors. I think I'm gonna start with red today. And this very first rectangle, I'm going to paint red. You're gonna use the brush and brush on the watercolor. I'm gonna put my brush back in, get a little bit more paint, and then maybe do this one red as well. You are going to do your entire paper painting all the rectangles, brushing on the paint. Put it back in the red paint. Now I'm going to switch to yellow paint, and I'm going to go around and fill in this rectangle with yellow. And then I think maybe I'll do this one too with yellow. And I'm doing ones that aren't next to each other right away so that the paint has a little bit of time to dry. If your paint doesn't have a little bit of time to dry, it might run into another color. Also, my paper's not drippy with watercolor. I'm brushing it on to paint all of my rectangles. And then I'll do the outside one, the blue. If you have puddles like this, see how this is a puddle of paint right here? Take your brush and brush the paint so that you don't have a puddle anymore. Brush it onto where there's still white. Your whole paper is going to be painted in our primary colors with the shape that you choose. Rectangles are real easy because straight lines like this are easy to paint inside of. But you could do a triangle or you could do a circle. It is up to you. You could do squares. Your whole paper is going to be painted by the end. So hopefully you get the idea. You're going to do the whole thing. My example is up on the board. You can see it. There we go. You are going to do your circles, your shapes, not circles, but your shapes. And then we'll put it on the drying rack and get all cleaned up. We'll wipe our hands with a baby wipe. We'll wipe off our mat with a baby wipe, and then put our mat back in the drive-thru. Don't leave it at your table. Here we go.